Today I did a very small amount. So after the warp, where I set the visibility of the ship back to visible and the dummy ship to not visible, I put all of the spotlights to not visible because as you may have seen in the last development log video, that the lights on the ship were on after I demonstrate the warp. That's because the way I'm doing warp is the way I'm doing the lights rather is I'm just toggling their visibility. What I did in the warp is that I checked propagate to children, so all of the children would also become visible, which means that the lights become visible as well. And I do need to worry about and check that not anything else that needs to stay hidden becomes visible. So I started making the AI dialogue system because I'd like a system where from any blueprint I can just get cast to the game mode and tell it to add some dialogue to the to a playlist, like a queue, and I want that system to be able to determine the importance of what I send to the queue, and then if it's more important than what is currently being said, I'd like it to override and say the important thing first, but also save the location of where we stopped saying the previous thing at, and then once the important thing is said, it resumes back from where it left off, saying the other thing. And I started making that today. So I've got a structure with the sound base in there. So an enum setup that's like importance, high, medium, low, and the audio length in seconds, so how long the audio clip plays for. I set up my own subtitle system and I also made like a quick animation for that. I'll show you that. So that's where it opens and it'll play in reverse. Can I play it in reverse? I'm not sure, but I can play it in reverse as well. So it'll be like that. So I set that up because so I've got it written down. Okay, so here. So I said I'm not going to use. Right, so I'm not going to use the dialogue. I'll go back to the subtitle system after I explain this, because they're linked. So I was going to use the dialogue system that's built into Unreal. However, I'm not going to do it because it means that I don't get full control over the sound class that the dialogue plays at. I also don't get control over volume. I don't get control over like pitch and such whilst it's playing. So you can set the initial volume and pitch and whatnot and the start time and attenuation settings. However, you can't, as it says in the tooltip, this is a fire and forget sound and does not travel within any actor, which means that once I've fired this and I've set all these parameters, I don't get to access them again. Whereas if I use an audio cue, I have all of these parameters that I can use, and I can manipulate them at runtime, which is a lot more powerful at the moment. I have used this in the past because it also comes with a built-in subtitle system that automatically shows subtitles with whatever you're saying. It's quite easy to use, and you've got who is speaking at who, etc. However, I've decided to make my own subtitle system, like I said, where this just comes up, and this is both set to auto wrap the text and to where is it? The overlay is sized to content as well. So no matter how long the text is, it will size to the content. So yeah, I set that up because I'm not going to be using the built-in subtitle system or the dialogue system. So with the queue, I can also override the sound class, which I've set to AI, and this is quite important because if I go into my master sound class, I've applied that sound mix that adjusts the volume. So AI duck ambience, it means that the ambience, anything that belongs to the ambient soundtrack ducks its volume underneath the AI, so you can hear the AI over the top of the ambience. Same with the music. So I can just, using the cues, I can override that and make sure that make sure that anything that I do actually play through this sound cue is going to be AI sound, and it is going to make everything else duck. Just in case I for some reason forget to set the sound class on one of the sounds, I can override it and ensure that happens. So yeah, so that's where I decided to make the custom subtitle system. All of this in this area is what I created today. They're little pieces of the system that will cue the AI audio voice. They're little pieces. So we've got the subtitle system. This just creates the widget. And I'm going to piece this together some other time, so probably tomorrow. That creates the main menu. This is a timer, like a custom timer. I know you can use like delta time to get consistent time between frames. However, I don't remember how to do that, and I feel like this way is good enough for now. So it's just a custom event that starts the timer, sets that to 0. This the time is always counted within this variable, and this is a timer by event that just loops every 1 second. So it adds a second to this variable, and because it just loops infinitely as long as this is playing. So it keeps adding a second, but that also means that I can clear this at any time and reset the timer, and I've done that through a macro, so that just literally just sets it back to 0. And if the timer is still playing, then it will just reset and go from 0 and count up again every 1 second. So okay, I'll explain that after. So this is the subtitle system. Effectively what it'll do is I'd have a function from whatever blueprint I want, and it will go through this entire system and set it all for me, and set up the subtitles for me based on this array. I'm gonna add to this array and say what, I might as well do it now. So that is a text. So if I make this a text variable, I do subtitle to say, and I'll do 1 because I'll show you now. The system has capabilities for 3 subtitles. Now, what it does is it sets the text of the subtitle text in the subtitles widget, plays the animation of it opening, and then it delays until the end time of that, and when it's the end time, it checks to see if the AI speech is still playing. If it is still playing, it delays 2 seconds, so it effectively waits 2 seconds, then it checks again, and it checks every 2 seconds until the AI has stopped speaking. Once it stops speaking, then I can, via the function that actually plays all of this, I can then check, okay, I want to say a second piece of the subtitle to play. I just figured out something's wrong with this logic, because what I actually want the system to do is then, so if there's a second piece of the subtitle to play, then what it does is it reverses the animation, so it goes away, the subtitle goes away, then I can set some new text, and then it will come back up. Pardon me. And that's just so I can say, if the sentence is hello, how are you, I can have the subtitle say hello, go down, come back up, and then say how are you afterward. So the player can read ahead of what is being said, so it leaves a bit unknown to the player. That's more auditory storytelling, so it leaves more unknown to the player, so that they can be left in suspense while the story gets more delivered in an organic way, in the how I want the relationship to be between the AI and the player. So it's more like they're both learning and both having an interaction throughout the entire experience. And then it literally just loops and just does that 3 times. So I can set 3 different subtitles. However, there's faulty logic here, which is quite simply, if it's still playing, then I want to check if there's then I want to check if there's if it should, continue doing different things. If not, if it's not playing, then don't do anything. I think for now. Then that's just the macro setup to reset the timer. That's just to remind me. Set waiver queue. So this is the beginning of the loop that is going to check. So I made a little note to myself. This is going to check the importance of the sound that I want to play. And if it's high, then it stores the last high index, the last, because the queue effectively works by playing all the high importance things first, then plays the medium things, then plays the low. So it will get the low, it will get the high index, and it'll go through all of the values in this array in the queue, and the last one that is high will be set. I'd have a reference to that index. So then what I can do is I can where did I put it? Here. So then what I can do is I can insert something at that index. So if the player suddenly triggers a story box and it's a high importance story box, then it means that I can send that that data and override what's currently playing by inserting it at the next high importance thing. So yeah, and this is a while loop that's just like if so like it will set the sound and play it according to the time that I want the start time that I want, and this is ticking up. but it'll reset if I need it to reset. So I can just do reset time. So it'll play from the beginning, and then it'll delay until the audio length, and then it'll check if it's still playing every 1 second and remove it after it's done playing. That's what I've done today. I don't think what I've done today has really progressed my storytelling, apart from auditory, and impressive portfolio. If I get this all to work, then it'll be quite impressive that I have a playlist system that determines the importance of story audio, and then sets the what should be played at any given time, dependent on that, and can resume, which is quite novel. What problems, worries occurred today? None today. I didn't do a huge amount that would cause problems. Well, I did also create one material for the subtitle system, and it's this material. This is the exact same as the other scan lines, however I've placed in a rotator, and a rotator, I didn't know that this would happen, but a rotator is going through all the colours, it's swapping the colours through, which gives a kind of interesting effect. It swaps through the colours, and in the subtitle system. So yeah, what did I do about these problems? Non-applicable. If I had to do the same thing again, would I do anything differently? No, because I've done everything fine how I wanted to do it. This to-do list is actually from yesterday. I just wanted to have it up, just so I can see what I didn't get done yesterday. Okay,